What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. Now, in this video, I will be discussing Scottie Pippen and some recent comments he made on the PBD podcast. We all know that Scottie Pippen is never one to not have an opinion about certain things and speak out about certain things, and this was no different. He went in from the NBA and its owners, from David Stern to Adam Silver. He went in on the Miami Heat situation with Zion Williamson and Jimmy Butler, just about Heat culture and a whole other plethora of things. But there were two things that stuck out to me the most on what Scottie Pippen had to say in this particular interview. And that was, one, speaking on a relationship with him and Michael Jordan, and also what he had to say about LeBron James. Now, Scottie Pippen and his things that he had to say about Michael Jordan was their relationship, isn't the best. And I kind of get that, because Scottie has always played relatively the without Michael, I would still have been Greek card. He'll play he actually said it. He said, without Michael Jordan, he still believes he gets 6 championships. Let me say this first. I don't know how relatively factual that is, right? Because I think about the player that Scottie Pippen was in the run with Chicago. Prior to him, going to Portland, Houston, and things like that, ultimately retiring as a Chicago Bull. But when I look at Scottie's career, great two-way player and things like that, Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player I've ever seen in my life. But to say that, I don't know if he wants to try to diminish Michael's accolades to boost his up. He also said some things about the GOAT conversation and how can this player be the GOAT and this player be the GOAT. He believes that Magic Johnson is the actual greatest player of all time, to his credit, right? We all know Magic Johnson is one of the greatest basketball players faces, and that's I think that's what it had to do more than anything, because the way Scottie Pippen was making it sound, it was like him, Magic being a part of the Lakers, Magic being all of these things about Magic being one of the first ever point centers, point forwards in the finals, things like that as a rookie. All of these things was speaking to the things that Magic Johnson did early on and throughout his career. And Scottie didn't pull no punches when it came to LeBron James and the ring chasing and things like that. And he was asked if an owner was to, side by side, would it be LeBron or would it be you? He says, well, are we talking about team success or are we talking about individual accolades? And if we're talking about team success, we know Scottie Pippen has 6 championship rings. LeBron has 4. LeBron has 4 finals MVPs. Scottie has none. LeBron has, 4 championships with 3 different franchises. Everywhere he's gone, he's won. That's different. That's a different argument for Scottie Pippen. We know LeBron James is the all-time NBA leading scorer. There's a lot of boxes that LeBron James checks. And granted, like I said, Scottie Pippen, great player. Hall of Famer. Top 75 all-time. Top 50 all-time. He made both lists. All-star multiple times. Was the catalyst for the Bulls offense when Michael Jordan retired to go play baseball. But let's just call it what it is, right? I feel like Scottie Pippen continuously saying these things, not only about GOAT conversations and things like that, because he's entitled to his opinion and things like that, of course. But I always say this: you don't have to dim your light for someone else. You don't have to dim someone else's light for you to shine. And I don't think Scottie is doing that in a sense, but I do believe, when you look at his career post NBA, and you look at what he'll be remembered as, and it's always him saying something, I'm not going to say controversial, but it's something that makes you scratch your head. Like, you had an opportunity to play with one of the greatest basketball players ever, and because they don't keep you guys at 1A and 1B, you feel like, well, I had the opportunity to be better than Michael. And maybe in a sense he would have been in a different situation, but I'm not going to say it would have been equal team success. Because granted, those Chicago Bulls teams were great teams, great coach, great players, great role players also, to be able to win championships. So I'm not going to say, Scottie wasn't a valuable point and a valuable asset to those teams. But the things that he was coming out and saying on this podcast, a lot of it could seem to be true, depending on who you ask. But to say certain things and certain comments, is something that I feel he's a little bitter. If I'm going to be honest, right? I feel a little bitterness towards Michael. I'm not going to say a little bitterness towards LeBron and things like that, because he was asked a question and he gave an answer. And that's what it was. Now, about the GOAT thing, of course, that's always constantly debatable. So, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Scottie Pippen fans, NBA fans, basketball fans, or if this is just your first time tuning into the channel, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell to know anytime a video is being uploaded to the channel. As Astronaut H, this is the What More Do You Want Network. I'll catch you guys on the next video.